everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
And a happy Chanukah to everybody.
Happy Hanukkah to you.
So one of the Hasidic masters, known as the Bnei Yisachar, he says as following. He points out a very interesting point. He says that the miracle of the light, of the oil, is really a miracle that was not necessary. It wasn't necessary. You need to save somebody, you need to save them. It's necessary. Person is lacking something, they need to give it to them, if their life is dependent on it. But they already won the war. They already came back to the temple. It's game over. They won it, and that's it. Now you move on, going back to regular life. So at this point, it wasn't really necessary to have a miracle. They could have just dealt with the situation. They don't have pure oil, and in that case, they would just light not pure oil, till they would get pure oil, and that's it. That's the halacha. The halacha is that if you don't have pure oil, and the congregation is all in a level of impurity, so you can do it that way. That's it. It's not the best way to do it, but it's okay. It's permissible. So he explains that there's a law in the Torah. It's explained in the Gemara, in Talmud Shavuos, Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph, that when you have a poor man and you have a rich man both coming to court, so the judge tells the rich man, either you dress him up like you are, give him the Armani, Versace, whatever, I don't know what it is today, but whatever it is, give him that type of clothes, so they both look presentable, or you go dress rags like he's dressing rags. There has to be that when you're looking at the people in court, they come across that they're equal. So he says that we say in davening, Va'ata b'rachamecha Rabban, you with your great mercy, amadata lahem, you stood by them. And like when you're standing, it's like you're standing in court. So Hashem, in a sense, upgraded the Jewish people. They stood side by side with Hashem. Hashem is standing now with them. So now Hashem, in a sense, has to make sure the Jewish people are on the same level as He is. He has to elevate them. So He has to give them garments of spirituality. So then they get the level of the miracle. So that this level of Chanukah, of having the oil, is a sense of upgrade that Hashem upgraded us. That's one explanation. Another explanation is that the Yidden, what they did at that time, they went on Mesiras Nefesh. They went of self-sacrifice to do what they had to do. They didn't have to do it. They didn't have to fight the war. They could have, just stayed in the hills and, do things on a much lower scale. They didn't have to go and expose themselves and fight and kind of take that risk, but they did it because they felt it was important. They wanted to live a full, complete life, totally dedicated to Hashem, and not water it down in any shape or form. And because of that Mesiras Nefesh, that self-sacrifice, they went into a higher level. They tapped into infinity, and once you tap into infinity, everything's infinity. So once you go into the level of Mesiras Nefesh, you enter the realm of 8. We are usually in the cycle of 7. Chanukah is 8, and it's brought down that because Chanukah is 8, it's a very auspicious time for us to tap into it and to ask things. Usually we run according to nature. Person gets sick, the chances are not too great. Person is sick, that's the nature. He's not feeling well. What are you going to do? He has a situation, he has a certain disease, has a certain sickness. That's what it is. It's over. Of course, you could daven. Of course, you could tap into anything can happen. But you're under nature. You have to really work very hard to break ground over here. When it comes to Chanukah, because we're dealing with a time that it's 8, it's not 7, it's 8. 8 represents higher than nature. It's much easier. It's an auspicious time for us to pray, to ask, to connect with Hashem, and to receive blessings that at this moment of time, it's not higher than nature, it's part of your nature. You don't have to break the nature. The nature's not here right now. The nature's not running the show. There's a higher level that's running the show now. So Hashem should help. We should all be inspired. We should all be blessed. We should ask for the right things, and we should be blessed with many, many miracles for all of us. Amen.